I'm Dee Gardner, psychotherapist with Gardner Counseling Services. I'm going to talk about the importance of knowing your attachment styles and how that can help you with your relationships. First of all, let's define attachment. I'm going to define attachment style. What is that? Basically, attachment is how you interact with people. The way you build relationships and connect with people has everything to do with the first few years of your life. There is a theory called attachment theory. And basically, what that says is that the way that you attach to your primary caregivers when you were really young has everything to do with how you attach to people today. There are gadgets that a pregnant woman can hold up to her belly to soothe the embryo, to help the embryo remain calm and anxious because, you know, sometimes you have it's almost time for the child to come out, and the child is I have a visual peeping their head out there. I ain't going out there. So anyway, so the experience of that unborn child is beginning to develop their attachment style. A secure attachment is important for that brain to develop so that that child will have the ability, that baby, starting with the baby all the way through adulthood, so that that child's brain will have the ability to have healthy emotional relationships, social relationships, intimate relationships, and to develop the capacity to communicate and feel the way the baby needs to feel to develop all these relationships. Adult will have empathy, understanding, love, and the ability to be responsive. Empathy, understanding, love, and the ability to be responsive to a person. All these are physical mechanisms in the brain. An attachment, a healthy, secure attachment can help a person develop fulfilling, intimate relationships. It can help them maintain emotional balance. It's not high and low, emotional balance. They can feel confident and feel good about themselves, about who you are. I know many of my clients, oftentimes they come in the door saying, I don't know who I am. You can help them enjoy being with others. You ever been around people? Sometimes it's like they just don't like people. It can, so this attachment thing, this attachment mechanism in our brain helps us like people and be social. And by the way, being really shy is not healthy. It's not healthy. There is a physical part of the brain that needs to develop in order to help that person be comfortable and be social. Did you ever heard of a really, really, really shy baby? A really, really, really shy little baby? No. They're very social. They're soaking it in because their attachment style is being developed. And it also, a secure attachment can help us rebound from disappointments and losses. It helps us with resilience. A secure attachment helps us with sharing our feelings, articulating our feelings, and knowing when we need help. So a secure attachment doesn't necessarily mean that the person isn't going to go through problems. It doesn't mean they're not going to have divorces. It doesn't mean that life is just going to be perfect for that person. It just means that that person is resilient. They're positive. They have a healthy, positive outlook on life. They perhaps look at the world through the glass half full versus half empty. And they know they can make it. They know that no matter what it is that they need to do, no matter what it is that life throws at them, they're going to get through it. That's basically secure attachment in a nutshell. I'm going to talk about bonding versus attachment. They're two different things. A lot of times bonding is referred to the embryo, the unborn fetus, the one that's inside, the one that hasn't come out, because bonding is viewed, some theorists views bonding as a one-way process. I'm going to have a link on this video on YouTube where you can look up some of the information that I'm giving you. I have links connected to a lot of what I say. So the bonding process is sometimes viewed as one way where the mother is loving on the baby that's not yet born. So that's a bonding process. It's kind of viewed as like a one-way emotional process or even a physical process. There is attachment bonding, and that is after the baby is born, and that is two-way. Here are some things that happens when attachment is being formed. It starts at birth. It's two-way nonverbal communication primarily. So when I say two-way communication, I mean, the baby looks at the mom looks at the baby, and they have this gaze. The baby feels safe enough where they could stare at mom, and mom helps the baby feel safe enough. She may lower her tone, or she may smile, or she may make noises. The baby makes noises, mom makes noises, and they play. I'm saying mom, but it would be a caregiver, whomever are their closest, the people closest to them. So attachment style, developing a secure attachment is not about perfect parenting. It's not about perfect parenting. Matter of fact, it's about nonverbals more so than anything else. It's not about education. It's not about teaching them to do this, teach it how to do that, teach the child to do that, teach them to do that, teach them to talk, teach them to... It's not about that either. That is not what we're talking about when we talk about a secure attachment. And it's not about love. I'm not talking about the bond of love. You love the child loves you. That's not what attachment is about as well. It's based on the quality of nonverbal communication. That's what we call an attachment bond. It's about the ability to reduce stress, the ability to self-soothe. There is a video in one of my workshops. I have a workshop. I do a couple of workshops. One is called Trauma Bonds 1 and Trauma Bonds 2. And then I have another workshop that is called Narcissistic Abuse and Trauma Bonds, because I found a correlation with that. So there's a video that I'm going to put it in this, I'm going to put a link in this video called A Strange Situation. And this is where research was done by Mary Ainsworth. She was a student of John Bowlby, the developer of the attachment styles theory. So a little toddler was placed in the room, and then mom was there and in the room, and a little toddler was there playing. When a stranger walks into the room, the toddler, number one, the radar goes straight to that person. And the toddler notices, stares, and just kind of leery. You could tell the radar went off when this strange person came in. And the child might even move a little bit closer to mother, and that's called proximity maintenance. So if mom leaves the room, if there is an attachment, if there is a secure attachment, the child is supposed to cry. Mom is that child's safe haven. Mom is that child's safe base. Safety just left the room, and the child starts crying. It's a toddler. The videos are usually around anywhere from I think 18-month-old child to 2 years, or maybe there's one maybe 3 years old child. So anyway, so when mom leaves the room, the child is supposed to cry. When mom returns, the child would run up to mom, or seeks soothing from mom, seeks calming from mom. So mom picks up the baby, holds the baby, calms the baby down, the baby calms down, all is well. The child just went through this cycle. Now all is well, I'm safe again. Now I can go play, and I can go back and explore the environment and go play. If a stranger walks up to the child is supposed to pull back, because that is not a safe haven. This is an automatic thing. The brain does not have to be fully developed for the child to know that stranger danger thing that we talk about. That is a normal, healthy mechanism that's developed in the brain with the child that has a secure attachment. If stranger tries to calm the child down, the child is not supposed to be able to console for a while. The child has to feel safe. So if let's say a mother takes a toddler to a playground and the toddler slowly walks away from mom if they're unfamiliar because the radar goes off. The child is always looking back. Is mom over there? Mom over there? Mom there? Is she there? And if mom leaves, the child notices it. She notices, the baby notices it. And the baby might walk, if mom is sitting there on the bench watching the children all play, the baby might go back and forth for a little bit, until they feel safety, because mom is the safe base. Nobody has to teach the child to do that. They do that automatically. That is what's beginning to form our pattern, an imprint, if you will, as for that determines how we're going to interact in relationships as an adult. Fast forward. Here are some behaviors that a mother and a child, a baby would experience in order to develop a secure, healthy attachment at infantile age. They go through a period of falling in love. So baby pops out, boop, and they're introduced to one another immediately, and they begin to get to know one another. The baby begins gazing at mom. Mom gazes at babies. There's mutual communication. I talked about that before. There are sounds that each one of them make. These sounds help relieve stress. There's touch. There's skin-to-skin touch. And this is not just mother. I'll keep saying mother. This is parents. This is caregivers. These are the people that are really, really the closest to that newborn baby up until 2 years or so. Touching, smiling, touching skin to skin, massaging. There's even something really amazing happens, and this is where the physical bond piece comes in before birth. When a baby cries, when a newborn cries, a mother's milk in her breast milk actually starts increasing. That's really, I think that's really an amazing thing for the bonding process for nature. And it's also important for mom to allow the baby to look away, because little babies are soaking in the environment. They're very, very, very social. Children, little toddlers are social. And that little baby needs to look away sometimes as well, and not just be forced to stare. They're easily stimulated because their systems aren't yet developed, because it's a newborn. So now let's fast forward this to adult relationships. So now, as an adult, here are some characteristics for a secure attachment style. So if the baby got those things that I just discussed, there should be a confidence in self. The person has a confidence in self. They are confident. You could see it a mile away in a secure person. They have feelings. They feel their feelings. They're comfortable feeling feelings, and the good ones and the bad ones, the hard ones and the tough ones. They're okay with that, and they know how to get support. They know how to cry. They know how to laugh. They know how to have fun. That's secure attachment. Remember, think about a child growing up. You remember that selfish age? You have that little 2 or 3 or 4-year-old, and there's a little selfish period, and then it seems like they pick back up on that as a teen. But these are all normal stages of development, and it's all in preparation of developing a sense of individuality, a sense of self, a sense of me. They do not live in extreme emotions, so it's not way over here or way over here. They have a balance of emotions. They may have a slew of emotional words. It's not just I'm happy, I'm mad. It can be I'm frustrated, I'm disappointed, I'm angry, I'm peaceful, I'm joyful, I'm hopeful. There's usually a whole slew of emotions, and they don't run away from emotions. They're able to develop very fulfilling, intimate relationships because a relationship needs commitment. They're not afraid to commit because they are resilient and they know that no matter what happens, they're still going to be okay. So they're not afraid to be vulnerable. They're not afraid to be open, and they know where the lines are because of their sense of self. They're going to be loyal to themselves, the secure attached person. They're able to accept and recognize patterns. So when I have a person with a secure attachment style that comes into the office, I notice their healing is really fast. They don't do therapy for very long. So if I say, go to this meeting, get some phone numbers, call up some people, start talking to people. When they come back within that next week, they've gone to meetings, they've gotten phone numbers, they've called people. I used to think, oh, is this person people pleasing? But I noticed a pattern. There's a handful, as a select people that. A select group that when they go to therapy, they just do what they're supposed to do, and they take risk, and they're open, and they're honest, and they feel their feelings, and then they're done. So they're resilient in challenges and disappointments and losses. They examine their strengths and weaknesses. It's not that they feel like they're perfect. They know that they have weaknesses, and they are willing to look at it. They're willing to be introspective. They're not ready to run out of the therapist's office. They're not ready to run away. They are willing to take a look at themselves and do whatever it takes to make it happen, to reach their goals. And I also said, I think a couple of times, that they look at the glass as half full. As an adult, this person has the ability to notice their feelings and body sensations. I've talked about that. They feel safe when they communicate their feelings. They feel safe when they communicate their thoughts. I know growing up, I used to say, sticks and stones will hurt my bones, but words will never hurt me. Well, words don't. When they're securely attached, they're aware of what this person said. It's just something they said. If I say something, and I'm going to say it, and it doesn't mean they don't lack compassion. On the contrary, they're very empathetic, they're very compassionate, but they're very confident and firm in their communications. And if there's some skills for them to learn, because they're not perfect, they do that. They are open to that. So here are 5 traits of a healthy relationship. I'm going to actually do a whole video on 5 traits of a healthy relationship. This secure attachment person has the ability to do these. The first one is the ability to commit. The second one, the ability to talk straight. Just say directly what it is you want. We're not trying to rip anybody apart. We're not trying to put anybody down. We're not trying to yell, nothing. We just say what I want. This is what I want. This is what I don't want. The ability to negotiate and fight fairly. So it's give and take. It takes some maturity to be able to do that, to say, I don't like this, but I'll go ahead and do that. Yes, why don't you do this and I'll do that? Okay, I'll go ahead and give in. I'll do what you want. Well, can we do what I want next time? So that's the ability to negotiate. The ability to nurture. Nurture means take care of themselves. When they need to sleep, they sleep. When they need to rest, they rest. When they need to get manicure, pedicure, they get a manicure, pedicure. They nurture. When they need to have these softer feelings and be really empathetic for someone and compassionate, they know how to do that as well. And they expect that from other people as well in a relationship. And the last one, the ability to take personal responsibility. They're willing to say, guilty as charged, I did it. So that is how a healthy, secure attachment style looks. That is the goal. So if you didn't get this, if you're an adult, which you probably are if you're listening to this, and you didn't develop a secure, healthy attachment style, there are other attachment styles as well that I'm gonna do a separate video on each attachment style. And there is the anxious. We call it the preoccupied anxious, or some people call it the anxious preoccupied attachment style. That's the one that's nervous. That's the one that worries a lot. That's the one that's pretty obsessive, and it's like their brain gets hijacked with worry, and they just can't snap out of it. They have trouble bringing themselves down and calming down. It takes them a long time to calm down. That is the preoccupied anxious attachment style. You may have heard people call someone a drama king, drama queen. Things could be going smooth, but this person have to have this chaos in here. That could be a preoccupied and anxious person. There's a fearful avoidant style. The fearful avoidant style is, there are two types of avoidant. There is the fearful avoidant and this dismissive avoidant. The fearful avoidant says, come, go, come, go. Come, I need you. Oops, that's too close. Go away. Come, I want to have a relationship. I want us to be close. That's too close. Go away. So they want to have a relationship. They want to have closeness, but when it gets too serious, they start feeling uncomfortable. They start feeling anxious, and then they might do things to put distance in the relationship. They may be involved in other things. They may have some sort of addictions, or they may be acting out in some other sort of the way outside of the relationship, maybe an affair or something like that, or a sexual addiction, and create problems. That's the fearful avoidant. Come, but I don't really want to be that close. Go away. They're an avoider. They avoid things. They avoid feelings. They avoid situations. They may avoid conflicts. And then lastly, there is the dismissive avoidant style. That might be more like a narcissist style type of person, although narcissist or dismissive attachment styles overt narcissists, but all dismissive attachment style personalities aren't narcissists. That's the person that looks like they don't need love. They don't have to have love. They don't have to have people. They may be in a relationship, but a lot of times they're okay not being in a relationship because they don't want to go through all the crap. And so that person, if they do get in a relationship and they start getting kind of close, they start getting upset because for them, love, softer feelings like empathy and compassion is irritating and annoying. And so they don't want to feel that. So they start complaining about their partner, and they start complaining about maybe even small issues. They start complaining about their partner. They don't want to hurt their partner. They hope the person leaves. So they're very dismissive. They're very challenging. When a person with a dismissive attachment style comes into a session, a dismissive attachment style person doesn't like to be introspective. So they might get upset with me for asking assessment questions about their past. And I'm like, well, you came for help. So 4 attachment styles. Secure attachment style, that's a goal. Preoccupied attachment style, that's the anxious one. Fearful avoidant, that's the one that says come, go, come, go. Dismissive attachment style that says I'm good, you're bad. I'm good, you're bad. So if you have one of the 3 attachment styles other than the secure attachment styles, fear not. Change is possible. Hope is on the way. You can develop a secure learned attachment style. If you do not have a secure attachment style, you can develop a learned secure attachment style. This is learnable. These behaviors are learnable. You're going to always have your style that you fall back on by default automatically when you're not taking care of yourself. When you're not speaking up, or when you're not eating, or when you're tired, or when you're hungry, or when you're overworked, or you're going to fall back into your old pattern. However, when you have a learned secure attachment style, you're able to redirect faster and still live as a person with a secure attachment style. One last thing, the importance of learning this is that your attachment style. It doesn't change. It's set by the age of 2 or 3 years old, and it's all the way through life. You can learn a secure attachment style. However, it is important to be able to communicate your needs to your partner. If you're an anxious person, you need to be able to let someone know, hey, I need more phone calls. I need you to let me know when you get home, because I worry. Things like that. Reasonable. Like I mentioned, I go into a lot of this in the other videos. If you have a fearful, avoidant attachment style, it's important to let your partner know that you need space sometimes. You need your space sometimes. And then when you do pull away and you might kind of go into your cave, it's not about your partner. You might have a preoccupied one, so you better be sure to tell them that. And then if you have that dismissive attachment style, you can learn to be more positive. You can learn to start feeling your feelings, and you can learn to start connecting with those softer feelings and identifying what irritation looks like, what anxious looks like, and what love looks like, because love does not have to be annoying. So you can learn to be vulnerable as well. So there is hope, and this will help you in developing secure, healthy, intimate relationships that you definitely deserve. I'm Dee Gardner with Gardner Counseling Services. Feel free to hit the like button if you like this video. If you didn't like this video, hit the like button. If you're looking at this video on YouTube, hit the subscribe button where you can keep up on all of my videos as I post them. You can stay abreast on my videos. I would love to hear your comments on this video as well. If you have a question for me, I will try to respond to all the comments that I get at this point. So feel free to comment, good, bad, or ugly, on the video as well. And visit my website, www.thecounselingservice.com. There's lots of information there. There's more information there, articles, etc. And if you would like a free 15-minute consultation, feel free to give me a call. My phone number is in the description below this video. Dee Gardner, Gardner Counseling Services. Thank you.